Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are finally starting to preview the Autumn Internationals. They are back and we're going to be doing the first game going on, which is only an England game, so it doesn't matter too much. I mean, who wanted to start it off with an England game? I'm only joking. The Haka is always a great way to start the Autumn Internationals. Anyway, enough of the trolling. We've got England versus the All Blacks at Twickenham. Or whatever the hell they call it now. I think this could be an interesting game. So we're going to get into the lineups, and then I'm going to have a little look at the game because, I think it could be quite an interesting one. So, let's start off, and I'll start off with the home team. So, for England, we have 1 Ellis Genge, 2 Jamie George, 3 Will Stewart, 4 Maro Itoje, 5 George Martin, 6 Chandler Cunningham South, 7 Tom Curry, 8 Ben Earl, 9 Ben Spencer, 10 Marcus Smith, 11 Tommy Freeman, 12 Ollie Lawrence, 13 Henry Slade, 14 Emmanuel Fei-Waboso, and 15 George Furbank. So some interesting call-ups there. Obviously Henry Slade in the midfield, centres even. Midfield centre, same thing, isn't it? Anyway, he's not played much rugby this season, has he? I believe. I think he's been injured for most of the season. Ben Spencer at 9, another big call. A fairly expected England 15. And then on the bench, you have got 16 Theo Dan, 17 Finn Baxter, 18 Dan Cole, 19 Nick Ezekwe, 20 Ben Curry, 21 Alex Dombrandt, 22 Harry Randall, and 23 George Ford. So a 6-2 split for England on the bench, obviously trying to outmuscle the All Blacks, which I only think the Box can do. So might be an interesting game. That England bench does not fill me with a lot of confidence for them. You know, there's a few solid players on there, but there's not really anyone that he'd come on and completely turn the game on its head. If England find themselves trailing by 10, 12, 15 points, something like that, with say 20 minutes to go, I don't see anything on the bench to go, he can come on and he provide some magic and help them score tries. Moving on to the All Blacks lineup, we have 1 Tamati Williams, 2 Cody Taylor, 3 Tyrrell Lomax, 4 Scott Barrett, 5 Tupou Valley, 6 Wallace Statiti, 7 Sam Cane, 8 Ardy Sevilla, 9 Cortez Ratima, 10 Bowden Barrett, 11 Caleb Clark, 12 Jordie Barrett, 13 Rico Ione, 14 Mark Talea, and 15 Will Jordan. So again, a fairly strong New Zealand team. Kind of people you'd expect on there. Bowden Barrett at 10. I'd presume Thingy Smith's injured. Or what's his? I can't mind his first name. Is injured. Going on to the bench, we've got Afoso Auma, 16. Defia Tungiunifase at 17. 18 is Pasoso Tosse. 19 is Patrick Tuipulotu. 20 is Stepani Finahu. 21 is Cam Rodegard. 22 is Anton Leonard-Brown, and 23 is Damien McKenzie. That is a much better bench. You know, looking at the two benches, the All Blacks bench is definitely the better bench. Definitely. There is players on there that you can bring on and they will make an impact difference, whereas for England you've got to put out questions. But anyway, moving on to the actual game now. As a Scotland fan, I'm quite sad we don't have the All Blacks, because I do feel like they are vulnerable at the minute. You know, they lost, to Argentina. They lost twice to South Africa. England ran them close twice. They've since the World Cup. And as a Scotland fan, you think if we had them at Murrayfield this year, we might actually be able to pull it off. Probably not, but I think this is a better chance than anything. When you go over to England, though, again, they haven't been overly impressive. They had a decent Six Nations, but I genuinely think the last two games hides, kind of shadows it. I think if you take out, the win against Ireland and them running France close, and for the first three games they were pretty poor. I mean, I think Italy and Wales were both unlucky not to beat them. Scotland absolutely destroyed them, and then yeah, it was a decent result against Ireland. Big win there. I don't, against the run of play. I'll give them that. They played well there, but and in the France game was just, I mean, again, it was more just a spout of a few tries in the France game. But yeah, this is it's two teams who you'd expect a big game from, but I'd say they're both prone to being underperforming at the minute. um, I do think England might pull it off. I've got a feeling England might pull it off. However, the bench I think is so much stronger. I also think the New Zealand backs are a lot better. Forwards, I can see a bit of an arm wrestle, but in the backs, I don't rate Marcus Smith. I do not think he's international quality. And again, I could eat my words. Ben Spencer's a big call. Freeman on the wing, he'll be all right. And then you've got Lawrence and Slade again, a centre partnership that individually they've been decent, but together might be interesting. I mean, Slade's played, I believe it's like 25 minutes this season. Faye also looks decent, but very inexperienced. Furbank at 15, yeah, he's been decent, but again, fairly inexperienced. So it's not that great from England. You look at that All Black team, and they've still got the Scott Barretts, the Sam Canes, the Surveyors. Well, all three Barretts are playing. Yeah. And then, as I said, even on the bench, there's not many people who could come on and make a difference for England. Ford could come on and do something. However, I wouldn't expect him to be able to pull them back if they were behind. Yes, if England are 5 points ahead with 10 minutes to go, he can come on and just kind of control the game, slow them down a bit, take the edge off it. But, I mean, if New Zealand are 5 points down with 10 minutes to go, if you bring on Anton Leonard-Brown or Damien McKenzie, they are going to do something. So, yeah, I am going to believe the All Blacks will take this. I mean, if you look at it from a tournament standpoint, again, I'll talk about England here. They've got the big three and Japan. And now, you'd go, they should beat Australia. They should beat Japan. And I think New Zealand and the South Africa games will be tough for them. However, you sit and go, if they get any less than 3 out of 4, they're in trouble. But that would mean they'd have to beat the All Blacks or the Springboks, which we all know how hard that is. So yeah, I think it's a must-win game for England, because I think this is probably slightly easier than the Boks. So I think most people would say at the minute the Boks are far better than the All Blacks. But I don't think England will beat them. As I said, I can see them doing it, but I don't think they will. So yeah, let me know what you thought. I did put a poll out for what you guys thought, but I put it out far too late and had looked only one person had voted in it, and so 100% of you guys think the All Blacks are going to win. Nah, but that was my fault. I meant to put it out a couple of days ago and completely forgot and put it out this morning, and yeah, just no one's voted in it, so nothing you can do there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, I shall see you later. We'll be back with the much better game involving much better teams in Scotland and Fiji. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.